All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I recognize a lot of faces, names, as well as there's a lot of new names here. So thank you for being here. My name is Christina Griffin. I'm a MAPS coach. I lead Dominate Off-Market Listings. I have an awesome team in Florida. In addition, I'm the community leader for KW Relocation. So I really appreciate you being here with me today. Right before the holidays, you had quite a few other choices. My goal today is to give you actionable things that you can go do and you can implement into your business. I love to teach, love to coach. Lead generation, I'd say, is my specialty. Just thank you for being here. Personally, I've done over 5,000 transactions. A lot of my background and history is around corporate, around institutional investors, relocation, and all things distressed and life events. So today, my goal for you is to give you some action that you can go implement into your business, as well as, in addition to that, give you something to expand your thinking. So again, thank you for being here. I'm going to get started. I just want you guys to know I'll be sharing with you notes and I'll be sharing with you everything that I shared with you here today. We are going to be hard stop at 30 minutes. So if you do have any questions that you want to make sure that I handle, please make sure to post them in the chat. Carissa, when you see the questions come through, please shoot them to me via email or private message, just to make sure they don't get lost in the chat. So, all right, guys. Okay, so today, the topic of our call today was 100,000 in less than 3 months, from data to dollars in 90 days. So I'm going to explain to you for a few minutes what that means. Ideally, right now, many of you are looking at your lead levers, your sources of business going into 2024. Many of you want to create more listings. You want to get more opportunity in your world. And I get this question a lot. How in the world do I do that? Maybe I've bought leads, or my sphere is not referring me the amount of referrals that I used to get. So I'm going to teach you today some things to really expand your thinking, so you can truly create more opportunity in your world. Okay. So again, I've been in the business for over 22 years. Quite a bit of what I do is around the different sectors of life events, as well as utilizing data to create opportunity. So today I'm going to give you something that is, I call it just a simple 12-step approach. I do want to first touch on, I call it the core life events. The core life events are pre-foreclosure, divorce, bankruptcy, and probate. Those are, I'd say, the basis and order of life events that truly are a big part of the market. Many of us don't realize that until we have a client that reaches out to us that's going through a divorce, a client that reaches out to us that maybe had a death in the family. I want you to imagine in your real estate business, what would it look like if people came to you when they were going through the events in their life that are, I'd say, one of the hardest things that we go through in our life: death, losing a loved one, losing our entire financial through bankruptcy, and divorces. Depending on the situation, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but they're never easy, as well as losing your home. So ideally, we're going to learn how we can find the people that have gone, that are going through those, where that data is a key indicator that they need our help. And then there are many other layers on what would it look like if they were attracted to you. If they went to Google and they said they needed a real estate agent in Atlanta, Florida that specialized in divorce, would you come up? Would you be that person that they would go to right away? So ideally, this is a shift-proof business, and I want you to open your mind as I give you some action steps today. So my aim with this webinar is truly to equip you with practical, actionable knowledge. Okay. All right, let's keep going. All right. So pre-foreclosures. I want you to, before I give you I'd say an action step around those, I want you to think about fluctuating interest rates, changes in buyer behavior, and so much more. Right now, these are key pinnacle things that will help you grow your real estate business. So these key sectors truly are a ton of amazing opportunity. Now, pre-foreclosures, these properties are homes where the owner is in default on their mortgage. The phase before the property goes to foreclosure auction, it's a crucial time to intervene. Agents that are skilled in negotiation and understanding of the financial ins and outs can provide valuable solutions to homeowners in distress. So is that you? Do you know how to locate the pre-foreclosures in your area? I'm going to be giving you a list of data sources that I personally use before we're done here today. I'm going to actually just randomly go into the chat, and I'm going to pull the very last city, because I want you guys to really think. And guys, I'm not sharing the screen. I'm going to share the screen in a minute, and all the notes that I'm sharing with you here today, you're going to get, because I'm going to show you where you can go download them. So I am going to pull just a random city so you guys can see what the pre-foreclosures are in your area. Now, I want you to know that when I teach, you're going to have many different sources of data that you're going to be introduced to. You're going to have the free ones that maybe your multiple listing provides, and then you are going to have the ones that may cost. So again, I'm going to share with you what those look like and a few resources for you to review here today. But I want you to think, before I go into these life events, does anyone prospect for expireds? Hopefully you guys on January 1st or 2nd, you'll be tuning in for, I call it the biggest expired day of the year. Now I'm using that as an example. Expireds, when the property is expired, we are notified that the property is expired, and that is a key example of data. I want you to imagine, and again, I use expires as an analogy when you're thinking about data, because that's easy. Us as real estate agents, many of us prospect and look at expired listings. Now I want you to think about all the life events, and I'm going to share with you a list of them. What would it look like if you knew how to find all of these life events, or you knew how to find the property that has a VA loan on it or a reverse mortgage? These are people that are likely to sell, and it's a key indicator, just like an expired. I hope that simplifies it for you in the way that you, to help you understand, but that is a key example of data. If you look at the data of expireds, everything I'm going to share with you here today can relate to that. We just need to know where we can go find the data. I hope that makes sense to everybody. In addition, a lot of the data, 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 of the people have to sell their home. I want you to imagine pre-foreclosure, bankruptcy, and probate. If someone is in pre-foreclosure, they either need to catch up on their mortgage payments, it goes into foreclosure, or they need to sell the property. So what other sources are you going after that it's a 1 in 3 chance that the person's going to need to sell the home? Ideally, what we have to do is we have to be able to get into relationship with them. And that's very, very important. Now, I just saw Houston. I was going to look at Tampa. And guys, those that know me, when I teach, I'm going to screen share my favorite program. You are going to get a free 30-day trial to this. I don't want you to sign up for anything you're not going to use, but it is the easiest place for me to share the opportunity with you. So also some of you have sent me private messages around non-judicial states. There are different sources available for that. And I do teach that, but you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly. And I will answer that particular question. So again, here's just an example. And this is one of many sources, but there's 1,550 pre-foreclosures in Houston. So if you're in a state that you think that there's not a lot of things going on, guys, pre-foreclosures are massively up throughout the country, and that is the easiest source for you to be able to create opportunity. So I just showed and we'll drop a link in the chat with what I just showed. But that's a notice of default. Now, here's something I'm going to give all of you. And some of you may already know this trick, but auction.com. If you do not, and you have never personally prospected for pre-foreclosures, auction.com is, I call it the simple hack on how to find houses that have a foreclosure sale date. Now, why in the world are we going to do that? I want you to think, everyone that's on this call, there are foreclosures that are in your area. And I always start with pre-foreclosures because they are the easiest opportunity to convert because the people need us the most. And I'll share with you conversations and letters and a ton of cool resources with you guys today before we get off the call. But I'm just going to share with you this awesome hack. And we have a lot to talk about in the next 16 minutes. So I'm going to try not to go too fast. So auction.com, if you have never prospected for pre-foreclosures, there are notice of defaults and there are houses with foreclosure sale dates. I'm going to share with you what every one of you should do and incorporate it into your prospecting schedule. Foreclosure sale dates are the highest converting source other than, I would say, your sphere. And here's why. They have a physical date that they are going to lose their home. Okay. Now, this site, if you want a source that you don't have to pay for, this is the site I recommend. Now, I'm just going to pull and I'm going to use my own city because I'm from Tampa, Florida, and I am going to put I'm going to actually put my county. I'm going to put Hillsborough County. So I want every one of you to do that. If you have never prospect for pre-foreclosures, I want you to do that. You put your county into auction.com. Okay. You are going to put your county and you're going to go to asset type. And don't worry, you're going to have notes on how to do exactly what we're doing here today. And you click foreclosure homes. Okay. Now in my direct county, there's only 19 houses that have a foreclosure sale date. Okay. But there are in my direct county, there's 2,721 that have a notice of default. So I want you to understand what that means. These are people that physically are losing their home and they have a date that the home is going to be gone. I go to auction.com when I teach nationwide because I call it the easy button. They feed all the foreclosure sale calendars throughout the country. I do teach this on a high level on how to find it in your area, but I want you to imagine when you're looking at your area, a house on January 9th that they're physically losing their home and there's a date. Those are in the world of, and I hate to use this terminology, this is low-hanging fruit, okay? If you are in an area, regardless if there's 20 or there's 1,000, these have a date. Even if it's a simple golden letter that I'll share with you examples, and you go knock on the door and say, I'm an agent that works in this area. Are you interested in potentially selling your home? They have to sell their home. This is something everyone should do, and it should be a consistent thing on a monthly basis. So this is an example of data. I shared with you what expireds are in relation to data. Notice of defaults, that's the day the property becomes public knowledge that they are at least 3 months behind in their mortgage. This is the end of the cycle. This is a foreclosure sale date. So the earliest that you get in touch with them or you get in relationship, it will help you be able to be that resource to help them on a high layer. So I'm going to go through quite a bit here today, but I wanted to give you something that everybody can do. And this is a good, I call it revisit. Go to auction.com, and even if it's a simple door hanger on their door or golden letter or a TCPA compliant call, this is something all of you can go get a sale in the next week or two by doing this 100%. Now, I want you to also realize and understand or remember, all of us can sell properties in the entire state. So many agents I work with throughout the country, this is their main source, but they also do their entire state and they have a system around it. So I have 311 that have a date that they're losing their home in the next 2 months. Now, if they don't sell at foreclosure sale, then they become a bank-owned foreclosure. And I do teach on that quite a bit. I love bank foreclosures. I've been doing them over 20 years. It's just a simple system to work. So again, that's a quantifiable thing that we all can do to be able to go and get a contract in the next week or two. Make sure you go to asset type and you hit foreclosure homes. Up until the day the seller loses their home, they are in full control. So it's no opening bid. You work directly with that seller. Foreclosure sales, you buy it in an auction, that's for another class, but ideally you getting into relationship with that seller, they need your help. It's incredibly important to be able to work with them. All right, so we are going to continue because I want to give you those simple 12 steps, and don't worry, you guys are going to have all of the notes today. Divorce cases, so the divorce cases involve the sale of marital property. So again, this is this sector is sensitive and it needs discretion. You need to learn how to work with couples that are going through a divorce. Gosh, guys, I don't know about you. I am happily married, but I went through a divorce many, many years ago. And when I'd say I needed help before this became a passion of mine to help others, the help wasn't easily available. So I want you to think about everybody in your community that goes through a divorce. Are attorneys calling you? Do you connect with people that are going through a divorce? Do you know how to pull people that are going through a divorce in your community? That's a great example of data. Bankruptcy. In bankruptcy cases, property sales are often required to settle debts. That is another massive data source. I want you to think about everybody that is going through a bankruptcy in your area. It could have been maybe you personally have gone through a bankruptcy yourself. In my own county, there's 616 bankruptcies. So again, you may have gone through one yourself. If it's a passion or something that you really want to see what's happening in your area, do you have the tools and resources to find this opportunity? Do attorneys connect with you? Do trustees for bankruptcy sales connect with you? These are massive sources of business that most of us don't realize. However, just like expireds, these are examples of data that we need to open our eyes up to that we can connect with. Probate. Gosh, I've had more death than I think anyone in one lifetime would ever want. My mom, dad, and sister died all 9 years apart. My grandmother passed away. Probate and dealing with death, needless to say, is part of why this became a passion for me. Almost all of us on this call have lost a loved one. Are you that person that people reach out to in your community when they've lost a loved one? Do you connect with attorneys where they refer you business? Do you know how to find the probate or the it's called pre-probate, it's a death certificate data, to connect with homeowners, to be that resource to help and impact them? So again, that's part of what I'm extremely passionate, and that is very few out of all the sources that I teach. And I start with those because they are massive sectors and parts of our business I want you to open your eyes up to for opportunity in your area. You can specialize in all of them if you choose, or you decide to go after one of them to become a resource in your area. So step one, we need to understand market dynamics. We need to research trends in our real estate market. So for many of you, you may or may not know how to do that. It could be a good old chat GBT that you just ask a question to understand the current trends. If you use the chat.openai, it's actually pretty up to date, believe it or not. I am in a state that we have something called List Track that's free within our multiple listing. So again, understanding what's going on in your area. Analyze local market data to identify the sectors. So again, the pre-foreclosure, divorce, bankruptcy, and probate, those are just four. I'm going to give you a list that we're going to go through of a lot more than that I hope expands your mind and your thinking. Now, I want you to think about building a robust network. Many of you that have heard me teach, you know I am passionate about creating creating that network of professionals that you work with, your key service providers. So the biggest example around that, and I'm going to give you links to my memory jogger, many different things that I personally use. But this week till the beginning of next year, it is a perfect time for you to reach out to every provider that you work with. Any provider that you send business with, connect with them. Make sure you have all of their correct information so you can truly understand their service and be able to share it with clients and see how you can connect and work with your service providers on a higher level. I want you to think about, it could be as simple as a roofer, a general contractor. Hey, I'd like to refer you to my clients. Want to just connect with you and confirm the best way to do that. And then you ask them, do you know anyone at all right now that needs help in real estate? It's a great way to build that robust network. Why do I ask that or say that when it comes to distressed properties or people going through these different key sectors or life events? It's because many of the companies and corporations, they want your list of providers. They want to know that if they send you a bank-owned foreclosure, that in 24 hours, you've got someone that can go change the locks. So this is a key foundation to start to build this type of business, is build those service providers, where if someone you connect with says, send me your list, you can send them your list. Now, developing a specialized knowledge, I'm going to be sharing with you a link to some upcoming programs I have. Market and outreach, create a marketing strategy for your sectors. Now, I will share with you guys a folder. I've got some blogs that I've written, a ton of letters, things like that you guys can use. I want you to keep it simple. Make sure to keep it simple and clean so they can reach out to you. I don't recommend getting started that you have one letter for every type of source I'm going to share with you, because it's easier to keep it simple and broad until you learn how to handle all the questions and objections. If you give a golden letter to someone that's an expired, probate, or someone that has an IRS tax lien, they're going to respond similar. But if you give a specific focused letter to them, they're going to ask more deeper questions. Keep in mind, you can always find and seek the answers, but I want to keep it simple for you guys. Now, I am going to screen share because I just want to go through the rest of some of these notes with you that you're going to get, that I'm going to share with you. All right, so utilizing data sources, step 7, public records, auction.com, I've already showed you. Realist, that is one that your multiple listing will have, many of you have. Remind, that is a free source that a lot of your multiple listings have. Remind is a great product. I highly believe in it. If you have it, they have what's called high sell scores within Remind that I highly recommend you guys to take a look at. If you have that, about I think 70% of the multiple listings in the country give Remind for free. So their high sell score product is pretty awesome, and it's a great source. Every time my ISA team calls TCPA compliant, they get a listing every time we pull that source. So again, these are sources of data. I'm going to share with you how to pull a list of all my favorite links, as well as one of the tools I shared with you here today. But the data source is going to be important. Then we need to understand how to analyze the data. I'm going to give you a list of a ton of sources. I want you to think about, in your neighborhood, do you know who's a renter? Do you know who's going through pre-foreclosure, divorce? What would it look like if you knew in your farm everyone that was likely to sell, and you knew how to simply and easy pull this information from them? Okay. Now we are going to go into connecting with clients. We're going to reach out to potential clients. You're going to have personalized communication. And again, I'm going to share with you some simple strategies. We need to convert. When they reach out to us, even if they say, hey, I'm not interested in selling my home, you need to be able to say, can I stay in touch with you? When they reach out, I want you to really make sure that you put them in your CRM and you nurture them, because they may be early in the process. However, if we stay in communication with them, it's going to be important. So we need to convert the leads. We need to offer tailored solutions. What does this mean? I want you to think about an expired. When we call an expired, we dig in and we find out, why didn't their listing sell before? It could have been, it was the photos. They didn't do open houses. It was the price. So we're going to create a tailored solution. Every seller we deal with, regardless of their financial or the life event or data source that indicated that they could be likely to sell, has a solution that needs to be created. So that is something I truly help with, but I want you to think about, if it's probate, bankruptcy, expired, or it could just be somebody that has a lien on their property. are your homework today, if you haven't, you need to be able to connect with your favorite title company or attorney's office and ask them if there's a resource in your state, or if they are the ones that can help you with these tailored sources. And what I mean by that is, if it is an IRS lien, do they know how to navigate it in your state? Having a very talented title company or attorney's office is important. They also give you guidance, state specific, on how to handle these opportunities. Now, when I talked about building a network, and I'm going to reshare with you guys in the folder what that looks like, just make sure you add attorneys on that building a network list. I'd recommend 2 to 3 attorneys that you reach out to on that building a network. Probate, bankruptcy, divorce, foreclosure, tax. These are, I want you to think about a divorce attorney. If you guys are not working with attorneys, it's a massive source of business. How many, if a successful or even a middle tier divorce attorney could do hundreds, if not thousands of divorces a year? Who are they referring when they need to sell a house? So building that network, offering tailored sources, having the attorneys, having the title companies and other options in that network. Hi, my name is Christina Griffin. I'd love you. Hold on 1 second. I'd love you to share with me how I can refer people to you and more about your services and your product. That's the question. They share the information with you, and when they share, you say, is there anything I can help you with? They love to sell themselves. So again, that's a key strategy. I'm going to show you on my site where you need to go to download everything I'm sharing with you here today. Building and leveraging success. Many of us need leverage going into 2024. I want you to think about leverage comes in all shapes and sizes. Do you have a blog on your website? If you're with Keller Williams, we just activated our new blogs. They have our new websites. They have really great blogs. Are you sharing the stories on your blog about how you can help your clients? If they go to Google, will they find you? Don't overcomplicate what I'm sharing with you here today. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Now, this is just a summary on a few of the different options. Here's the fun. And I'm going to end with this, and I'm going to show you where to get the sources. This right here is a checklist of 19 key, super simple places that you can open your mind up to when it comes to data. Many of us may want to do 1 or 2 of these. Some of you may want to do all of these. Having the data and the sources available at your fingertips to find this information will truly impact your community as well as your business. So I wanted to simplify it for you here today. So I want you to download this when I share with you where to find it. And I want you to think about what source excites you in your current market. What source do you want to learn more about? It could be senior owners, people through tax delinquency. All of these different sources, you can simply know who they are in your area, and that data on these sources indicates they're likely to sell. These are the top sources that will impact your business. My goal is to expand your thinking, have you have a little homework. Yes, I said homework over the holidays, to think about what sources you want to learn more about. And I want you to think about what would it look like, even if in your own neighborhood, you knew how to find all of this information. Okay, so let me show you. Here's my site. Some of you may have been here before. Every time I teach, I upload something new. ChristinaGriffin.com. You're going to go to download tips to get more referrals. You're going to put your email in, and it's going to open this monster Google Drive full of stuff. Okay. Everything I shared here today with you is on the holiday calls, December 21st. So you're going to see when you open it, it's going to be the 12-step approach and that list of awesomeness that I was sharing with you on those 19 sources. Now, there are in here letters, there are blog examples, there are examples of some marketing that I have done. And on this list right here are links, my favorite links. You'll see the site that I shared with you today. There is a free 30-day trial. That free 30-day trial is right here under PropStream. It is my favorite. I have in this list, you're going to see a bunch of other sources. I don't want you going and buying a bunch of things that you're not going to use. I want you to really look at that list of 19, and I want you to look at, is this something I need or I want to grow in my business? I will tell you, utilizing data, even if we just look at it on expireds, on January 1st and 2nd, do we have the sources available in our own market to know how many expires hit our market? I believe my market times 10 was the amount expireds on January 1st that hit our market last year. So that's an example of data. Do we have the sources, and what do we need to empower and grow our business next year? So again, I'm a data nerd. I wanted to simplify it for you guys the easiest way possible. So this folder is full of a ton of things that you can utilize in your business. I hope today that I was at least able to share some things that open your eyes up to possibilities. Christina Griffin at kw.com. You can email me if you have any questions. We do have a lot of other MAPS webinars, classes, and programs launching next year. I hope you guys can hear and feel my passion. I really have a passion on helping agents create massive opportunity, and data is a piece that will impact and change your business. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Questions that were sent to me, I will make sure to answer. Please email me if you have any questions. Thank you for spending this valuable time before your holiday with me. And I hope you have the most amazing holiday and New Year. And I hope to see you guys in 2024. I hope I inspired you guys to learn how you can create opportunity in the new year. So much love. You're all loved, and I hope to see you soon. All right. Talk to you later.